It comes with pressure, it comes with noise. He's learned quickly, hasn't he, what it's like to manage England.
And get questions from Gabe.
Yeah. I do not wish to engage in this discussion. I mean, the point is, how much has he learned? If he's learned plenty, then none of this is wasted, is it? That's the key.
That's the main thing, and like he made reference to the fact that there's players missing, you know, and which we all know what that's about. But I think that he made a good point when he said it's a, you know, false nine, number 9. It's about your particular performance, and that's what he said he was more disappointed with than anything else. We said about how narrow it was at the start. I think that we had Cole Palmer trying to attack in there, same with Phil Foden. So Anthony Gordon coming in there as well. So it kind of got a bit like congested, and it really needed to go out to the width. I thought that in the first half, there's a couple of crosses that I thought Ben White could have maybe put in some better crosses. On the left-hand side, we didn't really get too much going. And then when
he's not going to say it, of course, but do you not think he's thinking, actually, it has proved that if Harry Kane isn't around, I do need a proper traditional number 9 for that focal point?
Possibly. He probably needs better performing players, regardless of if they're a number 9 or a false 9. But like you said, and I agree totally, that why shouldn't we rely on Harry Kane? And other nations rely on their best goal scorers and their top performers.
I think Argentina relied on Messi quite a lot.
Yeah, we should be no different. I'm sure France will rely on Mbappe.
Yeah.
But it's key for when them players aren't playing, the second string players step up and deliver. And that hasn't been the case tonight. And as you said, sometimes it's more important to learn what you need this far away from the tournament.
Absolutely. Sometimes you need to know what you don't want or you can't rely upon or what isn't going to work. We've just put together a team. I mean, it's a sort of composite team of what we think, if everybody's fit, the opening game against Croatia will look like. Yeah. Now, Reece James is a big key there because he's got a hamstring injury, so we don't know. Nico O'Reilly at left back, not quite such a good day as he had here 10 days ago. But if everybody is fit and everybody is firing and everybody is raring to go, that's, you know, that still on paper looks a team that could give anybody a game.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I don't think anyone's questioning any of them players, to be honest. And like you said, if they're all fit and healthy, the confidence will be there. So I wouldn't be nervous with that team playing every minute of the competition.
No. But I do love the Harry Maguire re-emergence simply because, you know, you see even just coming on there, he's just 3 headers straight off the bat with some poor set pieces. But he came on and showed how much of a
Tuchel said he was 5th choice after the Uruguay game. Given his threat at set pieces, can we not knock him up once to 4th
I can't see how he's 5th choice with his experience and what he can bring. You know what I mean? I don't know if he was being a bit facetious there, but the fact is that he came on just like the game the other day, and he stands out. He stands out. He's passing from the back. Yeah. He's attacking the ball in both boxes.
His experience. He's never let England down. He's played in all these big matches.
Yeah, and he's well averse to know his role in the squad. He'd be well respected. So yeah, I'm a big fan, having worked with him and know how much it means to him to play for England and how coachable he is. So yes, I think that comment was made because of the season rather than where he's at technically.
Very quickly, if you are Welbeck, Watkins, Calvert-Lewin, Solanke, it's still all to play for, isn't it?
Probably still have a go for it. You can never give up on it. It's too big a prize. The World Cup, you might be able to go. You know, you've got to go for it.
Well, Mark, he said England needed the test, and it's a test they failed this evening. But let's start with congratulations to Japan. They've beaten Scotland 1-0 and England 1-0. That is 2 magnificent results, and they deserved it tonight, didn't they, Japan?
Yeah, they did. It was a kind of performance. It's like the one what we saw against Uruguay the other day, the kind of performance you might get in a tournament. That looked like one for me, but very ruthless. You know, very good defensively, attacking-wise. You know, again, they come back, they win the ball in these areas, and then once they get into this kind of area, they've got the pace. And obviously, you know, you need people tracking back, but they've got the pace and they've got the ability to pick out that pass there. That's a brilliant pass. That'd be a great World Cup game for them, winning 1-0. And the chances they created, once again, we gave the ball away. Great run through the middle. Should never be able to get through that easily. But, you know, in the end, he hits the bar with it. But like
at the start of the second half, they did the same, Joe. There was a cohesion and a confidence and a swiftness about what they did.
Well, yeah, what comes with goals is confidence, and you can see that in their play in the second half. They made the game very wide and difficult for us as a nation to defend, and they had moments of brilliance from individuals and probably deserved to go another goal ahead. Nakamura, I thought, was outstanding all afternoon, all evening even, so this was unfortunate, but yeah, we can take a lot from that, from a learning curve perspective, and recognise what we need to do.
Yeah. I think when you look at that, what you see is, like, some of the decisions they made at the end there were just fractions out for them to score another couple of goals there. Just fractions. So, you know, it's like I said, like Mark rightly said, we need games like this. You know what I mean? It's one that he'll have to look at. You know, the team will be different, but it was one you have to look deeply into because, you know, no Harry Kane, no focal point. We didn't look at all like we could lay a glove on them. We didn't look like that at all. And
in stark contrast to the way that the Japanese chances were created from open play, England's tended to be from set plays. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. A goal's a goal. And we talked before the game about how important set plays will be in the heat of the States. But nevertheless, it does say something about the lack of creativity in open play, the sorts of things England were relying on tonight.
Yeah, obviously when you're looking at that, shots on goal came from set pieces and corners especially. And he said, I think Harry Maguire did his chances no harm in getting on the plane. His commitment, and we spoke about the quality of the crosses, but if you have someone with that willingness to get on the end of it and make first contacts, it's so important. So, yeah, I think we've got a long way to go.
This was the best chance of the lot.
Yeah, if we're relying on set pieces to win us the tournament, then it's going to be a long tournament for us. But as I said, we can take the game in perspective and recognise that sometimes when you lose this close to a tournament, it's a blessing in disguise.
After even that chance there right at the end with Morgan Rogers there, just leaning back, that's the kind of chance that, again, you get into a tournament, you want to make sure that you're hitting the target with that. So that's all I'd be thinking about if I was playing today, just the basics to make sure you do things right. Because the worst thing you want here is a 1-1 draw. And you take a 1-1 draw and you say, well, that weren't great. But to lose to them, especially in the fashion we did, you know what I mean? I can't worry because it was too many changes. You know, I think Japan are very, very good side. You know what I mean? Very underrated side. And I think they'll show that. And I think that we didn't have a focal point. We didn't have a focal point.
So what's the answer? If Harry Kane doesn't play for whatever reason in the States, what is the answer?
But that's the problem. That's the
I
problem.
don't think anything was answered tonight.
No, it
whether
wasn't
it be
answered
a
tonight.
traditional number 9 or a false 9.
Well, I think that's the massive problem that we have. And I feel that's why he probably tried Phil Foden in that 9. I don't know, maybe if that's the case and he's going to go that way, then we might see Gordon in that. We might see Rashford up there. But whatever they're doing, we've got to make sure that we are able to pass out with pace and skill instead of going to the width all the time. We've got to be able to play into focal point, making movement off of people. You know, I don't think we pulled them around enough. I don't think we pulled Japan around enough. No.
We did attack very narrow, and I don't think that helped us and helped them, especially with a 3. If you make it wider, then it has to be individual 1v1 battles, or they have to go into a back 5, which then creates more space in the midfield. So, yeah, I think there's ways to learn from the setup in the formation.
Newcastle fullbacks did well, didn't they?
Yeah.
Gordon Livramento, they probably got a boarding pass, haven't they?
Again, still early. And the only question mark for me over Tino would be fitness. I think he has the quality. I don't think anyone is doubting that. But, yeah, as you said, they did themselves no harm.
Yeah, I thought Hall, and even Rashford, I thought when he came on, he looked sharp. I think Hall as well looked pretty good as well when he came on.
Squad is announced that Japan in the World Cup will have Sweden in their group after they beat Poland 3-2. Tunisia and the Netherlands complete that group. Italy down to 10 men into extra time away to Bosnia. Turkey and Kosovo's dream, and the Czech Republic have just gone in front against Denmark. International friendlies, Wales 1, Northern Ireland 1, Ivory Coast beat Scotland 1-0, goalless Republic of Ireland, North Macedonia